just to add to the conversation of like why dating in Houston is so bad.
Yeah, it's
actually though. Can we end on that note? I was just asking that last question. Why do you think it's so bad? Like just in a general sense.
I don't think it's necessarily like I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just like depending on what you're looking for. Like nobody that you've known right now has come to Houston where I've had a terrible time here. Like I don't meet anybody. I don't have fun. There's not enough to do. Like nobody says that. It's where you get to the point where you're over that to where like, okay, you want to find something different. But Houston's not about to change.
So today, actually, we have one of my good friends over here. So actually, I will let you introduce yourself.
How you doing? My name is Quan. So I'm originally from North Carolina. I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina. Had some family in the 252 area code. Went to North Carolina A&T. That's where I met this guy. Left A&T 2018, not left. Graduated A&T 2018. We got to be clear. Huge difference. Left. Lived in Minnesota for about 6 months. Left there. Lived in Arizona. Worked for this company called Anderson Windows. Then left Arizona in 2020. Came here to Houston in 2020. Got a new job in 2021 in corporate treasury right now. So yeah, that's kind of what brought me to this point right now.
So actually, good question, Quan. Like, do you know what you want?
That is a good question. I don't think I do, honestly.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in a point right now to where I'm really trying to figure that out. And especially at the age I'm at, I'm 27, about to be 28 in a couple months. So, 30 creeping up, you feel me? So I'm trying to narrow that down. But as of right now, I feel like I just want to be happy in my relationship. And that can be a lot of different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be what I thought, I wanted, whatever the case may be, because there's been situations to where I went into dates or whatever the case may be, not thinking that it was going to work out, but they had something that I wasn't expecting, and I actually found out, okay, I like this now.
I was going to say, I'm assuming you've had like past relationships or at least past interactions.
I have.
So based on that, didn't that give you a better idea of what you're looking for at least a direction, I should say? Yeah,
it gives me a direction, but I feel like I'm still trying to figure everything out though.
Okay.
Like I know what I don't want. I know what I do want in a sense, but it's still more to uncover in regards to like what's going to be or what attributes is really going to make that one, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking on the principle, you're always growing though.
Mm-hmm.
Right now in this moment, at this age, 27, what right now can you say that you're looking for?
Let's see. I'm looking for a partner in a sense, not necessarily. I'm looking for a partner in the sense of like somebody that has my back, just like I have theirs in a sense. If that makes sense. So, and that could be anything. That's why I said it's a little bit more of a wider range than what I initially might have thought. But yeah, more so just somebody that has my back, somebody that is thoughtful, caring, all the essentials, whatever the case may be. But I feel like the big thing is having that person that you feel like got you. You feel me? Like you don't have to be nobody else. You don't have to try to act a certain way, like you yourself. Good and bad times, this person will always have your back.
But Houston is a big city, and you've been here 4 years. 3 years.
Got here in 2018.
2018?
No, 2020, my fault.
Okay, big difference. But
yeah.
But you haven't found that yet, like not even close to that. There are so many people here, let alone black women.
Not yet, but Houston a wild place, man. Houston is a very, very
Please explain, man. People want to hear, bro. Please explain. What do you mean?
I don't think people come to Houston looking for love, for real.
Agreed.
It's more so of a good time. It's a lot to do, a lot of fun to be had, but I don't think nobody really trying to like settle down out here for real.
Well, what about the people who actually move here? Like, so there are people who come here for vacation, and there are people who actually move here to live. When you move here to live, there's at least some type of idea that you'll find somebody. This is a permanent decision for you. So even people who move here to live and are not just here for vacation still can't find anything. So do you see?
Are they trying to find somebody, or are they trying to be out? You feel me? Like it's a little bit different. Like
valid.
A dude may come here and be like, yo, it's hella women out here. A woman may come here and be like, yo, it's hella dudes out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that you're out here looking for your husband. It's more so like you're gonna have options. It's once you get to the point to where you have all the options and you're like, all right, so now what do I want? And I feel like that's the spot that I'm in now, to where like I'm trying to find that one. I'm kind of over the whole, you know, trying to talk to any and everybody is more so I'm trying to narrow down that situation. So we'll see how I go.
So I'm kind of laughing about that too, though. So a lot of people do come here. So like, Houston is an amazing city. It's fun, nightlife, always something to do.
Always.
And a lot of people I talk to, like men and women, the first 2 years, that's all it is when they move here.
Yeah.
Fun, going out, experiences, all those type of things. But then after that 2-year mark, generally after the 2-year mark, people actually start trying to settle down or at least find someone they would like to be serious about. Mm-hmm. And they can find all these people when they just want to be out and having fun. But then when they want to actually settle down and have something serious, they can't find it. And I only bring this point up because this has happened on both sides. Apparently, the men after that 2-year mark are looking for something serious, and the women are too. But why can't they find each other? Like, what is the problem that you've noticed, at least, when people actually are ready to settle down on both sides, men and women?
I mean, a lot of things gotta come into play. I mean, a lot of things gotta come together, in a sense. A lot of things gotta come together for things to work out on the men and the woman side. Like, gotta be right timing. You know, you gotta actually see that person for what they could be in the future. Like, say, for example, you met the girl that you're supposed to be talking to long term, but you met her during that 2-year period to where you just out having fun. So you're not really taking her too serious, whatever the case may be. She might really want you, whatever the case is happening, but it just didn't work out because your timing is off. And it can go vice versa. Like, I could be the one ready to settle down, but I'm talking to somebody that's really just trying to, you know, live that life, whatever the case may be, in her 2-year period. So you gotta, one, find that, and it's also where you're looking for it too, because if you're going into clubs, 99% of, well, I'll say 50% of them is just visiting. And then you got the other half that's either in that 2-year period where they're just trying to do whatever they're trying to do. And then you got that selective group that's ready to settle down. So you got to find that one.
Is there anything or any type of sign that would make you change that mindset? Like any character traits or something that would really stand out to you to make you actually want to take someone more seriously, at least right now?
That's a really good question. I would say it could be anything. I don't want to narrow it down to like, she could do this or she could do that. It's more so of like that feeling that you get where it's like, oh, I want to be with this person. Like, I want to like, not necessarily be with her in a relationship. It's like, I like spending time with this person. Like when you get to that point to where like, you want to be with them, you want to spend time with them. When you got 2 hours, you're on the phone with them rather than doing something else, whatever the case may be. Or like, I work in the office, so if I'm at the point to where like I'm taking a lunch, I'm like, oh, I'd rather you be there with me. You know what I'm saying? When it gets to that point, it's just like,
oh, that's real.
Yeah, that's something serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't necessarily got to be a specific, you know, quality or anything. It's just more so like, once we connect, we connect.
So it sounds like that's happened to you in the past, like having that feeling.
It has.
Can you articulate what it was? Like, what about that person made you feel that way?
Well, my last relationship, it was more so just like a genuine like happiness. Like when she came around, it was more so like I felt comfortable. I felt like she was happy with me. I was happy with her. We didn't really need to have to do anything, you know, outside or do anything major for us to be happy. It was just like, we're just happy being together type thing. So it was more so that type of feeling where I was like, oh yeah, I need this. Like, you could find the club love any day. Literally, like you said, Houston always has something going on, you know. You can buy a section and, you know, never know what happens after that. But when it gets to the point where like you would just chill with this person, like you got something serious. Okay.
So you just came across a person that made you feel differently.
Yeah.
Versus like all the other people that you were dealing with. Not saying you did with a lot, but the other people you have come across at Houston, like she just made you just genuinely feel differently. Do you feel like because she cared for you more, or there was like, I would say a certain level of attentiveness that she gave to you, or a different perspective or ideas, or like a different experience that she gave you?
I think it's all of the above.
Okay.
All of the above. She kind of gave me all of that, and yeah, it was just also right timing as well. So that just worked out. It just worked out to where she was able to give me what I needed. Hopefully I was giving her what she was needing, and we kind of just blossomed through that.
So since you say past relationship, you're no longer with her, I do want to ask you a question. What did you learn about yourself after that relationship had ended? Or something to put you on a growth path of something that you learned that you would like to improve upon, or just something you now know that you didn't?
Ooh, we getting deep. Let's see. Something I now know that I didn't. I would say, how important like that time, I guess, that time together is. I was in a long distance relationship, so that was a big issue for me. I found out that was not going to happen. And then also just being as a mature person, just like you could really, you know, want things to work out. But if there's this one thing that you feel like is going to be a huge issue for you guys, like that thing is still going to be there. For us, it was long distance. So regardless of how I wanted to kind of move away from that, like it still became the elephant in the room.
Actually, let's talk about that. So,
why do you want to talk about that?
about long distance in general.
All right.
So there's a lot of things I come across with the conversations that I have with people in Houston. And it's funny on the level of long distance relationships that people have out here. Mm-hmm. And of course they work, sometimes they don't. I have my own opinions. But in your own perspective, do you think that's an actual active way to find somebody? Or do you think that's more because I can't find someone here, I'm finding someone far off and we're going to make that work somehow, some way?
I mean, it could work. I'm not saying it can't work. Like, I was in that relationship for 3 years, so okay, we made it work for that time. But it's more so like there has to be a game plan. Like, you both got to be on the same accord. Like, we're doing this temporarily until we figure things out, type of thing. Like, I wouldn't go into it as more so like we're just being long distance until you know what I'm saying. So we're just gonna figure it out from there.
That's my caveat with it, though. As long as there's an end goal of being together. Because a lot of times we're going to figure it out as it goes, and that's a whole situation on its own.
It's true.
That's a funny topic, though.
I ain't trying to get too much, man. But yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky, man. You got to definitely be on one accord. It take a lot of patience, a lot of communication, and a lot of trust, honestly. Because that's the big one right there, especially depending on how far you are away from each other. Like, a lot of trust there.
All right, so actually, the question I asked you earlier, but I want to kind of refine it just a little bit. So, not more so what are you looking for, but what attracts you, I should say, in that way.
Okay, yeah, that's a different answer. So, I'll say what attracts me is one, looks. Gotta be good looking.
Define good looking, though. You actually have to add that.
I felt like you was about to say that.
I had to, man. That's too vague.
I get it. But like I said, it can be different. It's more so like, one, you got to keep your body up. Like, I'm a personal trainer part-time, so I make sure I take care of myself. So in regards to my woman, I want them to be a reflection of me in that sense. So got to keep your body up. If I see you, like, say it's our first time meeting, like, it's different ways to interact. Like, I like when women shoot they shot with they eyes type thing. Like, don't come on no over aggressive, like, I'm still gonna try to pursue you in a sense, but like, also don't be too aggressive to where like you just pop up in my section like, hey, where the liquor at? Like, what do you mean? I don't know you. Like, go on somewhere. Like, you can give off a bad energy in a sense, or more so like I don't need to be around you. Like, I need to stay away. Even if I did find you attractive, just like based on the way she moving, like I probably don't need this in my life type thing. So yeah, it's based on that. Yeah, like I said, you can shoot your shot with the smallest things as a woman that might get my attention. Outside of that, dress game is really important to me as well. Like, I want to be able to take you out and be like, oh yeah, she's mine type shit. Like, can I cuss up here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You too, dog.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, she's mine. Like, I know, like, she's fire. Like, I see that. Not only does she look good, she also dress good. She got a good demeanor about herself to where she carry herself a certain type of way that just gives that like sexy but unattainable type of look or feel. But she's mine, so obviously I'm doing something right.
So it's the confidence, like you see.
Yeah, it's a confidence thing.
Confidence thing. The fashion too, though. So is it all dresses and heels, or it can?
Nah, you can switch it up. Okay. You can switch it up. And some people know how to do it. I mean, you can go the tomboy route, and you might have a better sneaker collection than me, but you better put that shit on. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm saying it's got to be 24/7 or anything like that. But like, when we step out, like, we need to be stepping type shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not how you got serious when you said that.
It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. We need to step. We need to let people know this is what it is.
I respect it, though. Got real serious at the last week. He said, but when we step out.
Yeah, when we step, we need to step, for sure.
Added to that, though, so that confidence piece, that's what gets you, the confidence. And when it comes to how they approach things, how they dress, I'm assuming how they speak to you, or the above.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, that's very attractive because that lets them know that the way they're approaching you is very serious, not for games, not for usage, but for a specific reason of like they actually want you.
Mm-hmm.
But coming across that, what turns you off? Or what are things that you find very unattractive that you come across?
The usage piece.
Okay.
Some, especially more so in Houston than I've seen anywhere else. Like, women will approach you like, hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. Will you pay my bills? No. The fuck? Why would I do that? That makes no sense.
It's that bold.
It's very bold. And then it turns into like, oh, he's not paying my bills, so now I'm the broke boy. I'm this, that, and the third. Actually, I'm doing pretty well for myself. But that doesn't mean I need to pay for your bills to talk to you type of thing. Like, that's some weird thing. And I know of one specifically that was just like, I said, hey, let's go out to eat. She said, first, show me your money first. Show me, like, what does that even mean? Like, is this prostitution or is this like, what is this? Like,
Hey,
can we at least talk about this over dinner type of thing? Like, yeah, it was a weird interaction, but that literally happened like a couple of months ago. It was kind of crazy. So, yeah, that was one thing I could think of off the bat that we're like, don't lead with money. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna help you out if you ever need it. If we get to that point, whatever the case may be, but like, if we haven't been out on a date yet, don't try to get in my pockets. Don't try to. Like, that doesn't make any sense in my head. I don't know who told women that was okay, but that's a huge turn off for me.
You know what's funny though? I hear that so often.
It's common. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a known thing to where like women need to. I'm not even gonna speak on women. It's just more so like what I've seen is just like women have been very bold in regards to like, you need to pay for this type of thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like a man should definitely pay for the date, you know what I'm saying? Like, do all that type of things. But in regards to like, I meet you now, I cover all your expenses, that makes no sense.
I mean, you
would think that's common sense, right?
Hey, man, I'll be honest with you. I'm very impartial, but I've heard that. It's funny from the women I speak with. They say they don't do that. They say they've never come across women that have done that. But then all the guys I speak with, that's a very normal and common occurrence. Very common.
I got some receipts for you after this.
I believe you, bro. You spoke about that with passion. But I gotta ask this. So, like, where do you find women? Like, if you were to go out and look for women, or where do you spend your free time? Like, where do you come across most of the women that you deal with?
Where? That I deal with, like, that I'll take serious is more so in, that's a good question. I would say more so in like areas that you wouldn't necessarily expect, and maybe you would. Like, I met a girl in Whole Foods before.
Okay.
Great relationship. She eats healthy. Obviously, she's in Whole Foods. Like, body was fire. Had her a good little Lululemon set on. I was like, oh yeah, she knows what she's doing. You feel me? Like, body was crazy, and then just happened to have a conversation, and that turned into a good relationship. I would say. Like, we still friends to this day, so. No issues there. I would try to stay away from the club interactions though. I'm kind of shying back away from that. Like, even when I do go to the clubs, like, it's not necessarily, like I said, to find my one or anything like that, or to make anything serious. And more so like, I'm at the club, like, I'm drunk, you're drunk, like, we just out flirting until one of us, it's time to go type of thing. So yeah, nothing too serious there, but more so like grocery stores or like events that we'll put on. Like, obviously we both went to A&T, like, we'll have A&T events, and it will be like a big thing to where it's more so not necessarily like a club environment, but like you're having fun, you're drinking, your music's playing. Like, it's a really cool like birthday party one of my friends does every year, to where like there's just a lot of people, it's a good environment, good space, you can actually talk to somebody, get to know somebody a little bit, versus trying to communicate with somebody in a section. Is just like, first it's like, come over to my section, then the music is OD loud, then there's so much going on. It just didn't work out. So I would say more so like calmer events.
Like social gatherings.
Social gatherings.
Calmer, like, for an example, Whole Foods, grocery stores.
Yeah.
Everyday activities of like adults, I would say.
Everyday activities, yeah, for sure.
So for
you
me,
gotta have some rundown confidence for that though.
You do. I mean, I feel like, but me personally, I feel like as a man, you should have that level of confidence when you're approaching women. So I do personally feel like that's our part of the approaching, the initial conversation, the initial dating, all the above. So I feel like that should be just what we do. Of course, that's just my personal opinion.
True.
Which is understanding more of where you find someone, because that's a big conversation to be had. People know where not to go. So most people say the club is not it. The club, lounges, all that. Yes. For most people I talk to, they know that's not the place, but they don't know where is the place. So it's one thing to have the problem, but it's another thing to have the solution. So even across, with some of my examples, so I do wine tasting, I do bachata dance classes, I do stuff like that.
Okay.
And I meet very interesting people. And of course the gym is another place too. But
the gym is a good one for sure. I don't even know how I left that one off, but go ahead.
All right, physical trainer, leave it off one of the most important gyms, but
leaving that alone.
Can you actually question though?
Here you go.
Can you weed out the people who are there just for like their own personal reasons? As in, I would say non-directed gym purposes, Instagram, or they're just trying to be there because they want a specific solution versus the people that gym is their lifestyle and a part of their life. Can you weed that out? And if so, is there a difference to you and does it matter?
Yeah, and I can take it one step further. Honestly, like I've trained clients and I have a lot of women that I train. So I've met a lot of people that come to work out specifically to kind of shoot their shot in a sense versus coming there to like actually work out. That's a real funny situation, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
It messes up your business too.
it's terrible. It's terrible for business, but yeah, it's just kind of how things play out. But yeah, I can definitely weed that out pretty quickly. Like it doesn't take too long for that. Like you can tell someone is seriously about trying to like reach their max or whatever the case may be, trying to go hard every day in the gym versus somebody that's just there to take that picture. And I've seen women literally pull up, men too. I'm not even going to just put it on women. Men too that just pull up, literally fake do a rep or something, and then take a picture and leave. And you never see them again. I've had clients that come in telling me the first thing is, hey, I'm not trying to sweat. I don't know what type of personal training you think I'm about to do, but you about to be sweating in here. So they normally don't come back. So it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick to figure that out.
I was going to say, does it matter to you when you're actually looking? So I wouldn't say like you're not looking for clients, of course.
No, absolutely.
But you are looking for someone who is physically active. That's kind of what you mentioned. Physically, they care to an extent, and they are active. So do you care, or does that matter to you, with like her physical activeness and like how serious she is about that?
Yeah, that definitely is a huge part of like I want you to take care of yourself. Like not necessarily for looks wise, but for health wise.
Is that a requirement, or is that just something you would like?
It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's gonna happen. Like, me as a personal trainer, like if you have a good body, whatever the case may be, we attracted to each other. It's gonna be a point to where like you're gonna at least see what I'm doing in the gym every day, or at least want to come in once or twice. And then once you like, I don't know if anybody that's been working out, it's like once you get in there, you start knowing what you're doing, you start seeing some results. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, I like this. Like there's so much joy, there's so much mental benefits of that to where like people that deal with stress, anxiety, overthinking, depression, like those things can get weeded out simply by lifting some heavy weights. So say you have somebody is just not into the gym, they've never been in the gym, don't know what to do in the gym, but they're dealing with a lot of like mental issues, whatever the case may be. They might not like the gym specifically because it gives them some like physical benefits, more so like the mental thing. And that's more so why I do it anyway. So yeah.
I agree with you though. It's heavily therapeutic.
Absolutely.
100%.
Costs a lot less than therapy too.
You still have to do it though. Black people still need therapy.
Absolutely.
Let's add that in there.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's an alternative also. You can do both and have, I would say, a whole different set of relief. But just kind of jumping back into that though, just asking about the places that you said you looked. So you look, or you would like to just come across somebody that you're looking for. So you mentioned social gatherings, for an example, grocery store, and I would assume any other just adult activities, cooking, taking care of yourself, like taking care of the home, like those type of places. That's where you would tend to come across or find somebody that you're looking for. Is that correct? Just to add that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Kind of like the regular places that you kind of go all the time. Like I said, like grocery store, gyms, social gatherings to where you can actually like go and talk to somebody. Like it's cool. Like you see somebody in the club, say I see a woman that's, I think I need to talk to. Like looks amazing, but she's in a section across the club. Is 8 niggas in front of her. Like I'm not about to just cut through and just, hey, let me talk to you real quick. Plus the music's loud. Not about to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right, I can't do nothing with that. So in the sense that I can actually communicate and get a chance to talk to you, kind of see like a rough estimate about what you're about and things like that. I feel like that's a better relationship or a better start to a relationship than when I'm just screaming into your ear trying to make sure you hear.
Well, we've all tried though. We've all tried that before.
Come on, like, come on now. Like, we've been there. Like, you just trying to make something happen.
I mean, let's just learn, man. Let's just learn.
Very true. Very true.
I do. So I also want to add too, though, the reason I ask these questions are just based on conversations that I'm having. Mm-hmm. These scars do come from somewhere when it comes to the women I talk to. The guys too, but right now we're just speaking about the women. I would say, what do you think men are doing that are causing these scars and these problems with these women out here who are trying to find the person that they're with? Or what do we need to do better as men when we're actually looking for something or would like to come across something, I should say?
That's a good one. I would say more so like being transparent into like what you want exactly. Like, don't go into the relationship like, oh, I'm trying to be with you, and then you hit and then you just disappear. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you're trying to be on, there's a way to say that to where like, hey, I'm not interested in like pursuing anything long term. We can have fun, whatever the case may be. Go from there. And then the woman has a choice to decide, okay, is this what she wants or is this not what she wants? I feel like with men, I'm not trying to bash men or anything, but with men, we more so like everybody wants to put on that persona that they're that person. Like they have their stuff together. They're not trying to do this, that, and the third, where actually I feel like it's better just to be transparent and like, hey, this is what I want. Do you want the same? Do you not want the same? Okay, maybe we can just be friends. Maybe we can take this further. Maybe we can take it there, or whatever the case may be. So I feel like just we should be more transparent. I'm a victim of this as well, but I feel like just we should be more transparent into like what we want.
I agree, though. You would be surprised what people are willing to accept when it comes to dating.
That's true.
And when you are yourself, like there's no other way to find out. And you save a lot of people a lot of time, anguish, heartbreak just by being direct and honest.
It's true.
I've noticed that too, though. That's why I have to add to that sentiment. Mm-hmm. That's something that we do need to do more of. It's just like the straight up honesty. I do say that does come with maturity to understand more of your worth, what you're willing to tolerate and what you won't. But in the general sense, though, that definitely needs to be something.
And it takes time to figure that out, too. So you can't just assume that every man knows exactly what they want. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go into it as like, now in this space, like I know in a sense of like what I have energy for, what I have time for, like that's very important. So I try to just take it there. Like it's more so of a timing thing. Like I don't have necessarily the time or the energy to really give you what you might necessarily want, or more so explaining like, okay, this is what I can give you. How do you feel about that?
Understandable though. Right, I say I have to let you go after all this conversation, but yeah, I'm glad you had a chance to just speak about more of what you're into, what you're looking for, and all the above. Just to add to the conversation of like why dating in Houston is so bad.
Yes.
Actually, though, can we end on that note? I was just asking that last question. Why do you think it's so bad? Like just in a general sense.
I don't think it's necessarily like I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just like depending on what you're looking for. Like nobody that you've known right now has come to Houston where I've had a terrible time here. Like I don't meet anybody. I don't have fun. There's not enough to do. Like nobody says that. It's where you get to the point where you're over that to where like, okay, you want to find something different. But Houston's not about to change. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. I mean, there's ways to kind of find, you know, what you're looking for. But in a sense, if you come in and that's all you know is I need to go to this club, this club, this club. We want to have a time. You're going to have a great time. You know, you just might not find your husband or wife, but you're going to have a ball. Sure.
Right, though. That's what you're looking for when it comes to that. You're going to have an amazing time.
Amazing time. People going to have fun out here for sure.
That's why I feel for people who come out here for fun, but then they transition into the love aspect, which just does tend to happen over time. Mm-hmm. But they don't understand how to pivot everything else also to go to that space. So, yeah. I appreciate you for coming on, though, bro.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate you for having me, bro.
Of course.
Absolutely.